The number one problem that most brands face is unclear messaging. So let's talk about what that means and then how to fix it. The ability to tell a clear message is all about knowing how to talk about what you do and why in a simple yet powerful way that attracts your ideal audience to you and even repels the wrong ones. A clear message helps create brand ambassadors. So those are people who are going to talk about your company, your products and services, and do the selling for you. They're going to refer friends, colleagues, their network. They're going to become clients themselves because they're going to believe in what you stand for, your belief systems, maybe your mission and values, what your products and services can do for them. And so the more simply and short you can communicate what your company does, the better position that you and your company will be to win. We're first going to talk about how to create your brand story for your business, the 5 P's of your brand story. So this is unique to Content Supply. And then how to leverage this clarity to improve your marketing and get more results in your business. And for your own help and guidance, I'm going to be referencing this PDF guide called the Brand Messaging Framework, Story Supply. To help you achieve message clarity for your business, I've got a free guide that you can download down below. So first, let's talk about why messaging is important for building trust with your audience. The better a company can clearly communicate what they believe in, what they stand for, what their mission and values are in a simple and not fluffy way, the better that they will attract the perfect fit audience. Those who actually want to and are excited to buy their products and services. So think about what that looks like across companies big and small. Apple, for example, invite their users to think differently. They want to attract those who want to have standout design in their products. So you got the iPhone, you've got all of the Mac computers, all of their products, and then their media, inviting you to think differently while investing in quality design. So when you can maintain the consistency of the brand message to how the products reflect that message. So in Apple's case, all of their products, to my knowledge, reflect their ability to think different and have standout design, so they can win in the marketplace for hardware and for software. But when you distance yourself from the core of your brand message and something that your audience can help you create, then you will lose your customers to your competition. So let's say you're a company that stands for family values, but then you put out media or create a product or service that does not support family values. If you do that, you're going to lose your audience because your audience will not feel connected any longer to you holding true to your mission, values, and your belief systems, the main message as to why they got attracted to you in the first place. So maintain brand integrity and consistency throughout every single word you use, every piece of content you create, every product or service you go to put out to the world. Maintain a consistent message. But if you don't know what your message is to begin with, that's what we want to help you to do. There's also a bigger rise in purpose-driven brands nowadays, especially as we see AI dominate a lot of brand building. Us as humans are going to want more human-driven content and not near as much AI-driven content. There is still a perfect marriage of the two, but when you can recognize that a human is behind content, behind a product or service, there is more affinity and connection to it that drives deeper than maybe just a quick sell in the short term. So when you can have humans behind your brand and your products and services, the media you go to create, then put a clear purpose and mission behind it, you're going to attract far more super fans than you will otherwise. Now, when it comes to content creation, which is our specialty here at Content Supply, we cannot go off and create content without our clients having clarity of message. If our clients don't know what they're going to talk about in their content, then that content will not work to attract their ideal audience, to build community, and of course, sell their products and services. Messaging impacts every single step of the marketing experience, be that a landing page, how you talk about your product or your service, emails you put out there, videos you create, podcasts, the written word, every single type of content you go to create. When there's no clear message behind it where you can talk simply and specifically around what your company does, then you're not going to attract your ideal audience. So for example, we have clarified our message to this here at Content Supply. We have a vision to make marketing more meaningful and creative, to become the most trusted content creation platform in the world, driven by humans. So our mission is to empower visionary brands to become media companies, visionary B2B brands specifically, creating premium content that inspires, educates, and motivates. We serve these online brands who are ready for fast growth, B2B brands that are ambitious, visionary, mission-driven, and committed to leveraging their unique message, product, and service to impact the world. We find that there's many brands who struggle to create effective media that actually works to grow their business. They have no clear message, marketing plan, or process for consistent content creation. Content Supply empowers brands to become media companies, creating premium content at scale that inspires, educates, and motivates. So those are just a few of our talking points, and we may have others that could relate to a social media post, maybe something in email, in a blog article, and videos we create. But what we want to do is simplify down our core message into 1 to 2 sentences. And the last thing I just mentioned was what is called the one message statement. This allows us to identify what the problem is, what the solution is, and what the benefits or payoff is to our ideal audience. So if you notice here, when I said many brands struggle to create effective media, that is the struggle. That is the problem. They don't create effective media that actually works to grow their business. They have no clear message. That's a symptom of that problem of creating content that works. So no clear message leads to ineffective content. They have no marketing plan that leads to ineffective content. And there's no consistent process for content creation. Again, that leads to that ability to create effective media and content. Then we introduce a solution by way of our company or our product name. So Content Supply empowers brands to become media companies. So Content Supply is a solution to this issue of ineffective media. And the benefit or the payoff to our ideal audience is we help them become media companies, which means they are creating consistent content on a daily basis and becoming top of mind with their audience. So another added side of this payoff is creating premium content at scale. So being able to create as much as possible that inspires their audience, that educates them and motivates them to buy and to make a change. That is a quick breakdown. I'm going to walk you through a slide presentation that I prepared for actually a virtual summit that's coming up that I'm presenting on. And in this slide presentation, it's going to break down some similar topics and of course, talk about our brand messaging framework. So let's dive in. How to create a brand story for your business. Let's first talk about why a brand story matters. A powerful narrative can transform your business. So there's 68% of consumers that say brand stories influence their purchasing decisions, while companies with compelling brand stories have seen a 20% increase in overall business value. So people connect. People help you grow your business when you have a clear brand story. Here's a simple graphic to communicate how your mission, vision, and values play together in your brand story. So your vision is the what. This is what you're going to accomplish. It's a clear purpose. So for example, Elon Musk has said we are going to become a multi-planetary species. That's what he's envisioning to have happen in these coming years. For Content Supply, we want to become the most trusted content creation platform in the world. That is part of our vision. And that's going to guide us to help create more meaningful marketing content. So the what, that's your vision. The how, this is how you're going to do it. And then values, this is the why. Ultimately, the values is the true heart of any story. The clear reason why, and that's where we connect most with people, is the values, the belief systems. And I'm not necessarily talking about religious or spiritual belief systems, more of just what you stand for, what you believe in, and what makes you truly different. And then all those combine together into a powerful and heart-centered brand story. Now, your vision becomes a superpower. This is the guiding light of your story. And then your mission inspires action. So north, south, east, west, right? Here's this compass. Thinking of your vision as your North Star, the guiding light. Here are just some acronyms or associations with each of these words or letters. N for north, that's your network. That's the people in your community of influence. South or S is success. E, engage, and W is wisdom. So wisdom can relate to thought leadership, expertise. Engage can relate to the media and content you create to engage and motivate and inform your audience. And the success, that is the payoff you have when you successfully implement these practices and achieve success in your business and in your life. And then the 5 P's of your brand story, first start with people. So speaking of the 5 P's, in fact, people, problem, perspective, plan, and payoff. The first P is people. This is where you define your ideal customer. You answer these questions for yourself, for your company, is what do they want or need? What vision do they have for their future? So talk about their dreams, their aspirations. That is getting to know your people in detail. Then the second P is problem. This is where you define the problem or problems. I would say as you brainstorm this process, identify as many problems as possible, big and small. And then I would narrow it down into one primary problem that they confront, they face. So answer these questions. What's stopping them from achieving their vision? How do they describe their pains, nightmares, and struggles? So we identified the people and what they want, what they need, and then what's stopping them from getting them what they want and need, what is in their way. The next P is perspective. This is where customer beliefs shift and then inspire action. So answer these questions. How can you help your customers believe that they can achieve their vision? How can you guide them to success with compassion and authority? This helps with creating the belief systems and connecting to the ultimate why and sense of a value and belief system that really empowers them to be successful. And as they have a belief that yes, they can be successful, say with your product or service, and that's going to inspire them to act, then they're going to need a plan, which is the next P. The fourth P provides the plan or path to success that your brand provides. So describe the step-by-step plan your customers must follow to be successful. This is the blueprint. This is the framework. I wouldn't have it in 20 steps. I would simplify it down into 3 easy steps. And of course, maybe within those 3 steps, there's more details when you actually guide them to be successful, but keep it simple. Keep it simple. So as they follow the plan, they become successful. And that ends with the last P, which is payoff. This is where you show the results and transformation that your brand delivers. And your brand, of course, includes your products or your services. So describe how the plan resulted in a success or failure. Consider the internal and external results. So internal results are often the most impactful, right? That's the self-actualization side. That is the self-achievement that, hey, I have done this. I've increased my self-confidence, my knowledge that I can do this too, and that I can maybe help other people. External results are more money-based, maybe prestige, accolades, awards, things like that. But internal, that's where we get the most satisfaction. So if you reflect these 5 Ps, say in the hero's journey or a lot of movies or shows that we see or books we read, that payoff comes when the hero doesn't necessarily make all this money, but they learn something about themselves, which makes them change for good, change for better. So consider those types of payoffs in the categories of internal, the best one, and external, the easier one. And then taking these 5 Ps, you begin to craft an authentic brand narrative or story. So this is where you build trust through consistency and emotional connection. So some ideas here for consistently crafting and sharing your brand narrative is to share stories that reflect real experiences and emotions that make your brand relatable. So this is, of course, case studies, real life examples that allow your potential buyers or customers to create an emotional connection and see themselves in the shoes of the stories that you share. Then use stories that evoke emotions and feelings of empathy, trust, and aspiration to deepen engagement. So this is where we see this a lot in social media, where people put the aspirational life, whether it's the travel vlogger who seems to be traveling the world all the time, and we kind of live vicariously through them. You want to position someone within your company or a case study or customer who embodies that perfect story from step 1 to step done, all 5 of those P's perfectly, and they become that poster example of a success story. Then you want to ensure your messaging across all channels reflects the same tone and core message. If you go against this core message and these specific stories, then your audience will lose trust in your brand, products, and services. Then you want to continuously emphasize your brand's core mission and values in all forms of communication and media. So it's not just a one and done, like I'm going to share my mission, my values, my one message statement, which we'll get into, but you're going to do this on an ongoing basis. Kind of like, think of it like politics. Politicians go on their campaigns of promotion. If you see montage of clips across different rallies or different events that they speak from, they are going to say a lot of the same messages. Then you also want to position your brand as the guide and your customer as the hero. So as you develop out these stories in these case studies, you want to incorporate them throughout many forms of social media, websites, emails, webinars, your networking. This all will boost credibility through sharing actual real stories with your audience. Then you take this new knowledge about your audience and you craft your one message statement. I mentioned this earlier, where this is 1 to 2 sentences that clearly and powerfully communicates what you do and why in a simple yet powerful way that attracts your ideal customer. So you adapt the one problem, the one solution, and the one payoff into this 2-sentence statement. And you make sure that you memorize this and you share it with your team, with your customers, so that way it's easy to repeat and it becomes a simple response. When someone asks you, what does your company do? You can say this response. So we put it here in this template where you can say many, insert your customer identity. We'll say many B2B brands struggle with what's the problem. For us at Content Supply, it's creating effective media or content. We use Content Supply in order to help you create consistent content and grow your business. That's pretty high level. I would recommend getting it more specific to your niche and specific audience. Think about that and start simply in context of your own company, of course. Then you want to align your brand story across all channels and people. So ensure that your messaging is consistent for your team, clients, and across all your marketing. So ask the following question to your team and audience to confirm understanding. Invite them to memorize your one message. So ask them, what does our company do? And if their message changes by person and if their response changes by person to person, then you know you need to work on message clarity. And to emphasize, when people say this is what you say, memorize it. So many, insert your customer identity, right? It's that one message statement that helps communicate the problem, the solution, and the payoff. So align your brand story this way. And then as you do this, you want to measure the impact of your brand story. This is where you track engagement, conversions, audience feedback, and all that exciting marketing analytics stuff to really test how effective your brand story and messaging is. And for more support on helping to further craft, develop, and clarify your brand message, feel free to download our guide down below. Now, in sharing these ideas about message clarity, you may be asking yourself, well, how do I actually know that my message is clear enough? Well, by following our brand messaging framework and developing out the 5 Ps of your brand story and dialing in your one message statement, memorizing these elements of your brand story and your messaging, it's going to help you confidently go to script any video, shoot any YouTube training, marketing video or ad, create any email, any webinar, any landing page, because you know exactly who your audience is, what they want, what's stopping them from getting what they want, and how you can provide the solution for them. And you know it's working when you see your marketing results start to improve or continue to improve as you implement these fixes throughout the entire marketing funnel, be that during traffic generation, where you are putting out media, and this is 80% of your marketing and content efforts, or maybe it is in lead generation, where you update certain landing pages, parts of your website, your email marketing, or maybe it's in the sales side, where you continue to improve upon your sales funnels, your landing pages, and the way that you close the deal on your products or your services. How you talk about what your company does impacts every single phase of your business, and of course, every phase of your marketing efforts. So you know it's working when you see your business improve, start to grow, and your marketing start to work, because you can confidently approach it knowing that what you say will work to attract your audience. Now, if you're looking for further support on message clarity and developing that into your marketing plan to then create content that works to grow your business, then visit contentsupply.com and we're happy to help. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in a future episode.